And now it's time for today's daily forecast with EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martridge.
And good Tuesday morning to you. It is September 25th, 2018, and we're starting off with a NAM high-res future simulated radar at 8 o'clock this morning. We have a warm front that's continuing to push northward through the region, and we'll have some areas of rain this morning, scattered showers further south and east, but some areas could see some locally heavy rainfall this morning as this continues to move through. I do think this is mostly a morning deal with the heavier rain, but then once we get to the afternoon, here's looking at noon, we're starting to see an end to this out here to our west, and it's going to continue into early afternoon to wind down a little bit. So here is 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. You can see what's happening here. And the precipitation is going to be shutting off by mid to late afternoon. And then once we get into the early evening hours, you still got some activities going on in New Jersey, but most of Pennsylvania is dry. Most of Delaware is dry at this point. And I think that's going to be the continuing trend as we go through the course of the evening and the overnight. So we should be okay after that point. I do want to move ahead to Wednesday in a minute. I'm going to go back to that. Here is a look at the global models just showing the areas of rain this morning. And again, it's going to be mostly for these areas right in here. You can see where the heavier rain is right in these regions. Further south and east down here, it's going to be more scattered activity, not the really heavier rain. So areas maybe along I-78 points north, it looks like, or have the best chance of seeing over 1 inch of rain. But most areas are in that general range on either side of an inch today of rain, and before this is all said and done, but we could have some locally higher amounts, and that would be taking place in the northern areas if it takes place. Then we move through the afternoon and evening, and you can see once we reach the evening, it starts to die off and come to an end, and then we'll get a break overnight. But this is the cold front coming through that we're expecting to come through on Wednesday afternoon and evening. And so you can see some break in the action up until that. Might even be some peaks of sun prior to that, but mostly cloudy we're expecting on Wednesday. And here are the scattered showers and thunderstorms that come through later in the afternoon and evening on Wednesday. This is with the cold front. So let's go back to the NAM high-res future simulated radar, and this is looking at 2 p.m. Now the Storm Prediction Center had a slight risk for the entire area as of the time this video was recorded, and they have not updated that yet. So I don't expect them to continue that. If they do, they might double down on it. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Not really thrilled with this threat whatsoever. Here's a look at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. You can see just kind of like a broken or scattered line of showers and thunderstorms out to our west. And then here's 5 p.m. The NAM is not thrilled whatsoever. Now, I will say that there is the opportunity for some water-loaded downdrafts that could bring some gusty winds to this, but I don't see any severe threats out of this materializing. But we'll keep an eye on this just in case. But I think if we have something like that, it'll be very isolated and in terms of coverage. So here's a look at, and this was 5 p.m. Here is 8 p.m. It moves off to the east. Again, once it gets further east, if it gets in a little bit more of an area of destabilization, it might be able to increase it a little bit. There is sufficient shear to keep these things going, so we'll just have to watch out for the water-loaded downdrafts here that could produce some locally damaging wind gusts, but that's just going to be an isolated threat here on Wednesday. I'm not thrilled with a widespread severe day here on Wednesday. So this moves through, and then we're back to partly cloudy skies here on both Thursday and Friday. It looks like we're in the clear both days. So that was Thursday I showed you here. Here's a look at Friday. Nothing going on in the region. And then once we get to Saturday, we have a frontal boundary that's going to be off to our north. It should stay there. Expecting mostly sunny skies here on Saturday. So that's 3 days in a row. Can we make it 4? Well, possibly. Here's a look at the GFS forecast for Sunday, and it has nothing. It does have a frontal boundary in the vicinity, though. We could see a stray shower in some areas, especially the northern areas. With that frontal boundary. You can see the frontal boundary is right about here, and it's hard to see, but not much precipitation with it. Might not be any precipitation with it. And so that's day 4 for where most areas are just partly to mostly sunny and dry. And then a 5th, it looks like here for Monday, with a warm front off to our north. And we could have 5 straight days of a break in the rain, which would be remarkable. We don't get those kind of stretches of dry weather around these parts over those past 3 or 4 months. It's been very wet, of course. But the warm front in the vicinity will lead to partly to mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be off to the north over New York State, and another system will be poised to come in here for Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martridge. That is your outlook for September 25th, 2018. Have a great Tuesday.